Hey everybody, welcome in. It is October 25th, 2018, and I'm so sorry. I've made so many takes on this, and it runs a little bit long, and I'm trying to keep it more concise. But anyway, if people aren't aware of what happened, Travis and Gabe just made a pretty big trade. Travis is receiving Keenan Allen and Gabe's 2019 fifth-round pick. Gabe is getting Travis's third-round 2019 pick and Willie Snead. And I'm aware, I think Eli needed Willie Snead Gabe needed Willie Snead this week to start because he doesn't have a startable wide receiver. I totally get it in terms of that. But if you look at this trade in a nutshell, and I'm just going to quickly go over it, Travis wins this, and I don't even think it's that close. And I think both Gabe and Travis are intelligent people, but I don't think the difference between a third and a fifth rounder is enough to make up the difference between Willie Snead and Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is a top 20 player, and Willie Snead's not even a top 100 player. I know Willie Snead's had some good games, but if you look at any rankings right now, Willie Snead's not even probably a top 40 wide receiver, especially in rest of season rankings. He's just not. And I don't think the difference between those two players is enough, but I'm not even going to get into it in terms of that because, again, that was between them, and people value things differently. For all we know, Willie Snead could have a great year, and Keenan Allen could tear his ACL. But what I'm trying to get at here is this league is a redraft league. It's not a dynasty. It's not a keeper league. If anyone doesn't know what a keeper league, it's basically like the same thing as a dynasty league, except for it's a combination of redraft and dynasty. So let's say, for instance, I have James Conner. I picked him up off the waiver wire this season. According to most keeper rules, I would be able to keep James Conner on my team for a 15th round pick. And if James Conner is a starting running back for the Steelers, well, now he's on Travis's team. But let's just say he's still on my team. He's a second-round pick. So me or Travis, whoever has him, would be able to keep James Conner for a 15th round pick, even though he's a second-round player. That's how keeper leagues work. So there's next year implications. In our redraft league, there's little to no next year's implications. I think the highest round pick ever traded was maybe a 7th or an 8th rounder. I know previously Eli and Gabe had made a trade before the regular season, before the draft. I think Gabe traded his 7th and 8th rounder for Eli's 5th rounder, or something along those lines, something like that. And that's fine because it's that year's implications. That's it. But when we start to trade these higher level players, it becomes more about next year and less of, it becomes more about this year and next year as opposed to just this year. And I will take some blame, instituting the draft pick trading. The whole premise of it was just to balance out trades before. I didn't think people were going to trade top 4 round picks. Like I was emphasizing in the video, if you are going to do this, please let me know because I'm not trying to interfere with them. I'm just trying to level out a baseline because I know people are sensitive about this issue. A few people, and I don't want to necessarily put people on the spot, but I know Weston was very passionate about draft pick trading, and he really didn't want high-level picks being traded in our league. And I agree with him. But I was trying to emphasize, I don't think people are going to do it, and if they do, they'll come to me. And that didn't happen, and I'm not trying to point, a finger at anyone specifically, but like I'm saying is that this league is a redraft league. It's not supposed to spoil into next year. And it's gonna sound a little harsh, but I don't trust anyone in our league to make. Oh, I don't want to say anyone, but I will just say I don't trust our league to be fair in these future pick trades if high-level picks are being equated. Because like I was saying before, why on earth would someone trade a top 4 round pick for a player they're only getting for half the season, and that round pick is a player that they will be able to receive for a full season? So what I was trying to emphasize is let's trade 5th, 6th, 7th, or so on more because that makes more sense. Because you're only getting for a player for half the season. It does help the other person next year, for balancing out points-wise. But obviously, that's not the case. And so when you throw in these top 4 picks, it just changes too much. And I really don't want this league to be something that it isn't. And I know it's up to everyone to make these picks, make these trades on their own. That's already, I try to be as hands-off as possible. But I just don't want these trades happening. I don't want top 4 picks happening because I don't think most people understand where these picks are valued or how these picks are valued. It's like if no one knew the currency value from one country to the other and someone gave you 2,000 yens for 2,000 American dollars and you didn't understand the conversion rate, yeah, the person getting the $2,000 is a lot more. And obviously you know that because of the conversion rate. We don't have that. And I think when we start to have these high-level picks, people don't have a baseline. There is no draft trade calculator. There's no way to balance it. When you have these players, you can say like, hey, Willie Snead averages 12 points a game and Keenan Allen averages 20 points a game. And I know Keenan Allen hasn't had a great season, but you get what I mean. You can compare them. You can see the difference. Whereas with these picks, you can't. And that's what so what I'm getting to is I am not going to allow top 4 round picks, and I'm going to put my foot down. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's just not happening. This isn't a redraft or a redraft. Sorry, it is not a keeper or a dynasty league. It's not. And I'm not trying to put any spotlight on Travis or Gabe on this because they didn't know about this, and I think everything that they were trying to do was in good nature, and there's no sort of foul collusion type whatsoever. I'm doing this because I am not budging on this. I'm trying to be as stonewalled as possible on this. We're not allowing top 4 round picks, which begs the question: what will we allow? Which is I think a very fair question. Eli, CJ, Gabe have mentioned on several occasions, and I'm sorry if I'm. I feel like Travis is always in the middle of these things, regardless of the situation. Somehow, some way. Somehow, some way. But so I'm getting off track. So what is the solution? So there are 2. No draft pick trades at all, and we'll figure out. It will probably be going forward, and we will have a rule like Travis and Gabe will have to work out a deal. Not including a top 3rd round pick. If Travis wants to send his 5th and Gabe sends Travis his 10th, fine. But we're not trading these top 4, and what I'm trying to do is prevent people from making ill-advised trades or kind of dumb trades, and then now they impact next year. Like for instance, let's just say, and I'm not trying to pick on Katie and Tori specifically, but let's be honest here. I don't think Katie and Tori probably are as invested in fantasy football as, let's say, for instance, me. I know Travis has been doing a shit ton of research in the offseason. So I think in terms of people in our league, not everyone is at the same level of like time, attention, and just overall enthusiasm over this. And I don't want someone, like let's just say, for instance, Katie trades her 1st round pick next year for, I don't know, Travis, no, she has Travis Kelce. Gronkowski, let's just say that. Like, now it's impacting next year. I think Katie in good nature, Gronk is a, great player, but she's only getting for half the season. Now Katie's without a 1st round pick. She now regrets this trade. It's no longer she regrets this trade for this year, but now she has to live through next seasons. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. And I don't want that to happen, and I'm sorry if this is too much of a safety net, but like I'm saying, there is 2 options. No draft pick trades at all, and we'll figure out a solution, or no top 1 through 4 picks will be traded, but anything above 5th and whatever are fair game. And those are the 2 options. We'll pull on it. But as of right now, Travis and Gabe's trade is on hold. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to veto your trade, but those are the 2 options. What we will do is if no draft picks are allowed, there's already been trades that have happened so far this year that include draft picks. We will, after the season and after we do the draft, no picks will no longer be traded. I will ask Gabe and Travis to figure out a trade between them that involves anything but a top 1st through 4th round pick. and they will figure out their trade that involves that. It will happen. It will push through. I'm not trying to veto this trade. I am just trying to set up rules that are not going to allow what I think are a lot of people's anxiety about these types of trades. So, sorry this video has run long, and I rambled on a bit, but that's just kind of how I'm feeling on this, and I hopefully you guys can respect where I'm coming from. I'm really not trying to interfere with this too much. What I'm trying to do is, I guess this is bound to happen. This is my fault for not being a little bit more, instigative in terms of setting up proper rules about these types of draft pick trades, because I really think that's a fun element of it. I think that adds another level of balancing out trades, and I would hate to have that completely removed, but if some people feel like it's either all or nothing, that's totally fine. That's up to you. But I just am not comfortable giving people the power to trade first 1 through 4th round picks. Those picks should not be traded during the regular season. Those players are that's a top 48 player. And you're getting a top 20 or 30 player for half the season, and you're getting a top 48 player for a full season. So I'm sorry, and I cannot wait to see Travis's reaction to this, because I'm sure he will have a 20-minute Cardinals backwards jersey video reacting to this. But it's not about Travis and Gabe. It's more about what I had published a couple weeks ago in terms of this type of video, and I don't think I was as forward as I probably should have been. Anyway, that's it. Good luck, everybody, this week, and I'm sorry this dragged on a little bit longer than it should have. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions, comments, or any type of constructive criticism here. I'm sure I'll hear something from Travis and Gabe. Anyway, that's it, everybody. Peace out.